All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of Sam Walton,
Sam Walton,
the man who built Walmart
the legend.
from a single store to, well, a retail empire.
It's quite the story.
It is.
Yeah.
You sent over some excerpts from his autobiography, Made in America.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I felt like I was getting a master class in business just reading those pages.
Yeah, it's fascinating how this story, it goes beyond just building a successful business.
Right.
It really digs into the driving forces behind American retail.
Yeah.
How ambition and a strong set of values
Right.
can completely reshape an industry.
And get this, Sam was almost obsessed with the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine him flying over Kmart parking lots.
Oh, I love that.
Just to count the cars.
Wow.
We're going to try to unravel that competitive spirit today
Please.
and how it shaped Walmart's path to success.
I think his early life holds some important clues.
Absolutely. This is a guy who was hustling from a young age, selling newspapers and magazines,
Yep.
always shooting to be number one.
Yeah.
He even became the youngest Eagle Scout in Missouri's history.
Wow.
Talked
Yeah.
about driven.
Driven from the beginning.
And growing up during the Depression, his mother, who was quite the entrepreneur herself,
That's right.
made sure he understood the value of a dollar.
Those early experiences, they really lay the foundation for his success later on.
Yeah.
That hustle, that constant drive to be better.
Right.
It's all connected to the relentless work ethic and laser focus on customer satisfaction that he became known for.
And those values are practically woven into Walmart's DNA.
Totally.
It's no coincidence that they're so laser-focused on low prices and top-notch customer service.
Those principles came straight from the top.
Those principles came straight from the top.
That's right, yeah.
Straight from Sam.
It's a direct line from those early experiences to the company's core principles.
Yep.
But the path wasn't always straightforward. I mean, Sam didn't just snap his fingers and create Walmart.
Right.
He started with the Ben Franklin franchise.
Right. Learning the ropes.
Yeah.
Understanding the ins and outs of retail.
Exactly.
But there's this turning point where he starts bumping up against the limitations of the franchise model.
He wants more control.
Yeah, he's hungry for more control.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to choosing the products and setting the prices.
He realizes that franchise model just won't let him fully implement his vision.
Right.
And that's when he begins to understand the true potential of discounting.
Yeah.
He sees retailers like Saul Price who are already making waves with this approach, and he starts to study them intently.
Like a sponge, soaking it up.
Totally, yeah.
That shift from being a franchisee to embracing independent discounting was a complete game changer.
Exactly. It unlocked the freedom and control he was craving.
Yeah.
And that move was absolutely crucial in shaping Walmart's signature approach, keeping costs low and sales volume high. Yeah. It's the foundation of their business model.
Okay, but what really hooks me were the stories about Walmart's early culture.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about scrappy.
Tell me more.
I mean, they used cooking grease barrels to make a makeshift parking lot for a grand opening.
Wow.
They were resourceful.
They were
and determined to make things work.
Yeah.
And then there were the buying trips to New York.
Yeah.
Where they'd outsmart seasoned suppliers with their totally unconventional tactics.
They were constantly pushing the envelope and looking for any advantage they could get.
It's almost like they were on a mission to uncover every trade secret in the retail world.
Yeah, but there was a method to this so-called madness, right?
Right, absolutely.
This commitment to frugality, this constant drive to find new and better ways of doing things.
Yeah.
It all helped Walmart keep costs incredibly low.
Yeah.
And of course, that meant lower prices for their customers.
It created this incredible feedback loop.
Yeah.
Lower prices drew in more customers, which fueled even more growth, allowing them to negotiate even better deals with suppliers.
That's brilliant.
It's a brilliant strategy.
It is. It's a classic example of how a company's internal culture can directly translate into a powerful competitive edge in the marketplace.
But there's another piece of this story that really struck me.
Okay.
Sam's approach to employees was revolutionary for its time.
Oh, yeah.
He insisted on calling them associates, not just employees. And he actively cultivated this feeling of partnership.
It was a completely different mindset.
It was a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
And he went even further,
Okay.
introducing profit sharing and stock options for associates.
Right, which was practically unheard of back then.
Talk about empowering your workforce.
Totally.
It wasn't just about words.
Yeah.
It was about giving them a real stake in the company's success.
Exactly. And this wasn't some feel-good PR move.
Right.
It was a brilliant strategic decision.
Yeah.
When your employees feel valued and invest, they deliver exceptional customer service.
Right.
And by sharing the profits, he ensured that everyone was rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
Company growth meant personal growth for every associate.
Yeah.
It's about aligning incentives and building a strong, unified team.
So it sounds like Sam understood that a successful business wasn't just about, like, shrewd deals and, like, clever strategies.
Right.
It was about people.
Definitely.
It was about creating a culture where everyone felt valued and invested in the company's success.
Exactly. And speaking of culture,
Yeah.
we can't move on without discussing the legendary Saturday morning meeting.
The legendary Saturday morning meeting.
Yeah, it was much more than just a meeting. It
Yeah.
was a ritual, an event that really cemented their values
Yeah.
and kept everyone connected.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Oh.
So we left off talking about the importance of people and culture at Walmart and how Sam really emphasized this sense of partnership.
That's right.
But let's be real. Walmart's growth was anything but small. They were opening new stores at an incredible pace. And that kind of rapid expansion can put a lot of stress on any company's culture,
It's true.
especially when a company's built on, a foundation of strong values
Right.
and close relationships like Walmart.
Yeah, it's not easy to scale that kind of personal touch.
Exactly. So how did they manage to hold on to that
Well,
as they grew into this massive retail giant?
one of the keys to their success was their willingness to constantly learn and adapt.
Right.
They weren't afraid to experiment, try new things, even make mistakes along the way as long as they can learn from them.
Right.
They were constantly evolving and refining their approach.
They were operating with a startup mentality, even though they were quickly becoming anything but a startup.
Yes. And another crucial factor was the strength of their leadership team.
Yeah.
Sam had surrounded himself with talented and dedicated people who really believed in his vision and were willing to put in the long hours to make it a reality.
They were all pulling in the same direction. And let's not forget about that legendary Saturday morning meeting.
Right.
We touched on it earlier.
Yeah.
But I think it deserves a deeper look.
Okay.
It became a core part of Walmart's culture.
It was more than just a meeting. It was an institution, a ritual that reinforced their values
Yeah.
and kept everyone aligned.
Yeah.
Imagine executives, managers, even hourly associates
Right.
gathering every Saturday morning for this unique blend of business updates,
Right.
pep talks, and just plain fun.
We're talking cheers, songs, crazy contests.
All of it.
It sounds more like a pep rally than a corporate meeting.
It might sound a bit over the top,
Right.
but that was part of its charm.
Yeah.
And it was incredibly effective. It
Mm.
created this incredible sense of community, a feeling that everyone from the CEO to the cashier was part of something bigger than themselves.
This wasn't just happening at their headquarters, right?
Yeah.
These meetings were taking place in Walmart stores across the country.
Exactly. It was a way to connect everyone, no matter where they were, to the same set of values and the same sense of purpose.
Think about the logistics of coordinating something like that,
It's impressive.
especially before, widespread internet and video conferencing.
Very impressive.
It's pretty impressive.
It is.
It really speaks to their commitment to communication and transparency.
Yeah.
It's clear that they saw these meetings as a vital part of maintaining a consistent culture
Mm-hmm.
and a shared set of values, even as they were growing at such a rapid pace.
It was essential.
But what about Sam himself?
Yeah.
What kind of a person was he outside of the boardroom?
He was a complex and fascinating individual.
Yeah.
Extremely driven and demanding, for sure, but also incredibly charismatic and down to earth.
Yeah, I got that sense
Yeah.
from his writing.
He genuinely loved spending time in the stores, talking to employees, getting their feedback.
Yeah.
He never lost touch with the front lines of the business.
And he was famously frugal. Even after he became one of the wealthiest men in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Flying coach, driving an old pickup truck.
It wasn't about the money for him.
Yeah.
It was about the challenge, the thrill of building something great.
Yeah.
He was a true entrepreneur at heart.
And a fierce competitor.
Always.
Always looking for an edge,
Mm.
a way to do things better, faster, smarter.
Absolutely.
It seemed like he never really slowed down.
He had this remarkable ability to inspire incredible loyalty in his employees.
Right.
They believed in him, they believed in his vision, and they were willing to work tirelessly to make it a reality.
Yeah.
They saw him as someone who was genuinely invested in their success as well.
And that leads us to one of the most innovative, and some might say controversial, aspects of Walmart's success, their approach to employee relations.
Sam was way ahead of his time when it came to recognizing the importance of empowering his employees.
Right.
He believed in sharing profits, giving them a real stake in the company's success. This was unheard of at the time in the retail industry.
He called his employees associates, not just employees.
Right.
And he introduced a profit-sharing program that gave them a direct cut of the company's profits. He even offered them stock options, long before that became common practice.
Yeah.
It wasn't just lip service. He wanted his employees to benefit directly from the company's growth.
It was a calculated strategy.
Yeah.
He understood that when employees feel like they're a part of something bigger, when they have a real stake in the company's success, they're going to be more engaged, more productive, and more loyal.
Right.
And that creates a better experience for everyone, especially the customer.
The win-win situation.
It is.
But there's another aspect of Walmart's story that we need to talk about.
Okay.
It's something that's often debated and discussed.
Yeah.
Their impact on small towns across America.
It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
There's no denying that Walmart's arrival in a small town can be disruptive. They bring with them a new set of competitive pressures.
Right.
A different way of doing business.
Some people argue that Walmart has revitalized struggling communities by providing jobs and affordable goods, while others claim they've driven local businesses out of business and homogenized the retail landscape.
Yeah, there are valid arguments on both sides.
There are.
It's important to acknowledge both the positive and negative impacts.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that Walmart's arrival in a town can bring challenges.
Right.
There have been accusations of unfair labor practices and concerns about their impact on local economies.
Yeah.
It's a valid concern.
It is.
But they've also brought jobs, lower prices, and increased tax revenue to many communities.
Right. It's not a simple black and white situation.
No, it's a complicated legacy.
It is.
And one that continues to be debated.
Yeah.
I think it's a reminder that business decisions, especially those made by large corporations, can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond the bottom line.
It raises an important question for every company, regardless of size.
What's that?
What is our impact on the world around us?
Yeah.
And are we using our power responsibly?
Those are crucial questions to ask.
Or they are.
But for now, let's shift our focus to another fascinating aspect of Walmart's story.
Yeah.
Their early and aggressive adoption of technology.
Yeah.
They're pioneers in many ways, embracing technologies that are now commonplace in retail.
They were light years ahead of many of their competitors.
They were.
They were using computers, scanners, and satellite communications long before many retailers even understood their potential.
Yeah.
And it gave them a significant advantage.
It did.
We've been exploring how Sam Walton built Walmart into this, retail powerhouse. But one thing that's really striking is that even when the company was already incredibly successful, he didn't just, sit back and relax. It's like he had this constant drive to find new challenges, explore new horizons.
He wasn't content with the status quo.
Right.
Always looking for the next big thing,
Right.
the next opportunity to shake things up and redefine what was possible in retail.
He had this incredible vision, this restless energy that pushed him to keep innovating and expanding.
Right.
And that leads us to the creation of Sam's Club.
No, yeah.
A whole new ball game compared to their traditional discount stores.
Absolutely. Sam's Club was a completely different model.
Yeah.
A membership-based warehouse club offering bulk discounts on everything from groceries and electronics to tires and office supplies.
It was a concept that already existed, with companies like Costco and Price Club paving the way.
Right.
But Sam saw a chance to put his own spin on it.
He wasn't afraid to go up against those established players.
Right.
He knew that Walmart's size, their incredible logistics and supply chain expertise, gave him a unique advantage.
They could leverage their existing infrastructure and relationships with suppliers to offer competitive prices and a massive selection.
Yeah, it's like they were playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers.
Right, exactly.
They were also tapping into a whole new segment of the market. Sam's Club attracted customers who were looking for value and convenience in bulk buying.
Right.
Especially small business owners and families with large households.
Right.
It was a brilliant strategic move.
And it paid off big time.
It did.
Sam's Club quickly gained a foothold in the warehouse club industry.
Yeah.
And expanded rapidly across the United States. It became another massive success story for Walmart.
It was another testament to Sam's willingness to experiment, take calculated risks, and never underestimate the power of a good idea.
Right.
Even if it meant challenging the industry leaders.
But even with all this success in the U.S.,
yeah.
Sam had even bigger ambitions.
Oh, really?
He set his sights on something truly massive.
Okay.
The global retail market.
Walmart's international expansion was a bold move. It wasn't easy, and it definitely had its share of challenges.
Right.
They were stepping into unfamiliar territory with different cultures, regulations, and consumer expectations.
Right. They couldn't just, copy and paste what they had done in the U.S.
Exactly. They had to adapt their strategies to succeed in these new and diverse markets. They encountered fierce competition from established local retailers who already had a deep understanding of their customers.
Right. But Walmart also brought some serious strengths to the table.
Like what?
Well, they had their low-cost operating model, their finely tuned supply chain management expertise,
Right.
and their unwavering commitment to customer service.
Yeah, they had a proven formula for success.
And they were willing to learn and adapt, tweak their approach based on the unique characteristics of each market they entered.
They understood that a one-size-fits-all strategy wouldn't work in a global environment.
Right. They invested in building local teams with deep expertise in each specific region. They recognized that success in international retail required a nuanced understanding of local customs and preferences.
It makes sense.
And perhaps most importantly, they were patient. They understood that building a successful international business would take time, dedication, and a commitment to building trust with new customers and communities.
Yeah, it was a long game.
It was.
But it's one that ultimately paid off.
It did.
Today, Walmart is one of the largest retailers in the world, with a presence in over 20 countries.
It's an incredible achievement.
It really is.
It speaks volumes about Sam Walton's vision and his relentless pursuit of growth.
It's also a powerful reminder that achieving success on a global scale takes more than just a good idea or a cost-efficient model.
Right.
It takes a deep understanding of cultural nuances, a willingness to adapt and learn, and a genuine commitment to building relationships with local communities.
It's about so much more than just the bottom line.
It is.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Sam Walton and the rise of Walmart, we're left with a story full of valuable lessons for entrepreneurs and business leaders alike.
From those early days selling newspapers to building one of the largest companies in the world.
Yeah.
He showed us the power of hard work, innovation, and a relentless focus on the customer.
He never lost sight of his core values. That belief in empowering employees, creating a sense of partnership, and giving back to the community.
Those values were woven into the very fabric of Walmart's culture.
And he always challenged the status quo, always pushed the boundaries, never settled for good enough.
He was a true pioneer who transformed the retail industry.
His legacy continues to inspire and influence the business world today.
Absolutely.
And as we close out this deep dive, I think it's important to reflect on a key takeaway from Sam Walton's story.
What's that?
It's this idea that true success goes beyond just profits and market share.
It's about making a positive impact on the world, on the lives of your employees, your customers, and the communities you serve.
Yeah. It's about building something meaningful that lasts, something that makes a difference.
It's about leaving a legacy that goes beyond the balance sheet.
Exactly. And that's something we can all aspire to in our own unique ways.
I think so, too.
So as we finish this episode, I'm curious to know what resonated with you the most.
Yeah.
What surprised you? What inspired you? What will you take away from Sam Walton's incredible journey